What's going on, everyone? Craig here with All Tech Together, bringing you another video game review. Today we're taking a look at Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition for the PC. This game is available on Steam for a price of $66.99 Canadian, and as always, let's start with what you see. I played Final Fantasy 15 on the PS4 when it first released, and I thought the game was absolutely gorgeous. Fast forward to the PC version, and the power that the PC can deliver is more than evident. My PC is by no means state-of-the-art, with a Core i5-8600K with 16GB of RAM and a GTX 980 Ti. In no certain terms, this game looks stellar. Let's start with environments. On the field, as I was just running around grinding, or simply walking from point A to point B, I often found myself in awe of what the developers had laid out before me. Seeing the grass blow or move when I ran through it, just staring at the rocky mountains and wondering if I could climb them was really great. Entering the more swampy areas and marveling at the giant beasts feeding their rather large bellies made me say, wow. Personally, I do find the cities and towns of the game to be a different story. The actual buildings and architecture look very well done. But what I found a bit odd was the townspeople. They looked rather stiff and out of place. It's not a massive drawback, but due to the beautiful look of the main and secondary characters, I can't help but feel some corners were cut. The last thing I want to touch on is animation, as this game is thick with it both in cinema scenes and in-game motion. During my playtime, I did find some minor frame rate drops, usually during big intense battles, but nothing game-breaking. The main character is animated great, and every sword swing or magic blast feels legitimate. You can really see the wind-up of the characters as they utilize the weapons and skills that they've been given. Enemy animation is also decent, whether it's from a small razor-toothed beast or a large Magitech armor-wearing soldier. Up next, what you hear. I, like many of you, have an extremely fond memory of Final Fantasy series musical scores. Final Fantasy 15 is no different. The music throughout the game helps create a sense of grandeur that is totally befitting of a Final Fantasy game. Being able to listen to some of the songs from past games while in your car is also such a treat. The only real problem that I have with the music in this game is that sometimes it just stops. You can be traveling to a destination on foot with some cool music going on and then just nothing. A few minutes later, it picks back up, but I would like to have music at all times when exploring the game's world, just to help pass the time. Sound effects and ambient sounds are also really well done. The sound of the Magitech ships coming down to Earth to drop their passengers gives you the correct audio cue to know in what direction you should turn to defend yourself. In addition, the wildlife sounds are very atmospheric, to say the least. Many times I would hear the throaty growl of a monster before knowing what direction they were coming from. Voice acting in this title also really helps to engage the players, as it's really well done. I do find some of the dialogue that is spoken randomly during exploration to be a bit repetitive and annoying, but no game is perfect. The voice of the characters are fitting, as the four main characters' voices are distinct enough that a person could easily close their eyes and know who is talking. The secondary characters' voice acting also does a good job of creating a better sense of character, as well as helping take the dialogue and pushing it to the next level. Add all these points together, and I really felt pulled into the story, not by just what was said, but also how it was said. I would equate it to having a robot read Romeo and Juliet. The words are wonderful, but the delivery would be awful, and ultimately it wouldn't have the same impact as the real person who actually feels for the characters would. Up next, what you feel. This game starts with the four main characters going on a trip to meet a bride-to-be. In no time, the story picks up and you are catapulted into treachery and deceit. This, in my opinion, is a story that is as old as time, but that's okay. The story gives you quests, but that is such a small part of the game. The games have so many systems at play to keep you engaged when not doing the main quests. To name a few are the bounty hunts, which, as the name implies, gives the team slaying different monsters for profit. There's also the fishing game that allows the player to catch a fish and then use them in one of the game's other systems of cooking. Add this to the more abundant amount of side quests, and what is left is a healthy-sized game. One of the things that Final Fantasy has fought with over the years is what type of battle system to put in the games. Final Fantasy 15 was no exception. It either seems people really liked it or can't stand it. I am decidedly in the former. The combat is fast and fluid, real-time battle that has you, the main character, slashing with your sword, then changing to a spell, then zooming to a perch on a rock looking for this opening to attack. If you are a person who likes a more turn-based or tactical approach, there is an option in the settings that allows you to enter the wait mode. When this mode is on, as long as you are not moving, the game will kind of pause, letting you better see the enemies and target the appropriate target. This definitely takes some of the chaos out of the fights and slows them down. Both of the battle modes only really affect how you play the main character, as the other 3 party members do a passable job at fighting by your side. I do really enjoy the team-up attacks in this game, when the special bar fills to a certain point, as they add another element into your battle tactics. This game was fantastic when I played it on the PlayStation, and on the PC, it's no different. The PC version runs better, looks better, and comes with all the DLC from the console version. When I add up all the positives this game brings to the table, it shows just how good Square Enix is at not only building a world, but then sucking you into it for 100+ hours. As always, I rate games on a 1 to 10 scale, and I give Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition a 9 out of 10. If you like what I do here, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment, and tell me how I did. Also, when this channel hits 500 subscribers, I will be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. I'm also on Twitter at AllTechTogether, and would love to hear from you. Well, that's it from me again. I am Craig from All Tech Together, and I'll catch you on the next one.